Welcome, everyone, to part two of the Humor and Chaos podcast featuring the very knowledgeable Zoraida Morales as she continues to share with us her journey with leukemia, chronic myeloid leukemia. Um, in today's podcast, Zoraida talks about forgiveness, continues to talk to us about the spiritual aspect of her life, and how she became a life coach and has dedicated her life to helping other people with their cancer journeys to show them that they don't have to just merely survive, that they can thrive in their journey. She also shares with us her honey balm for anti-inflammatory processes, which I will share somehow in the details. Sorry, I'm getting a message. I will share in the details her honey balm recipe. I just want to note that it does have turmeric in it, and so if you have medical issues, certain medications, or sensitivities, to be aware of that, and maybe talk to your doctor before you start this honey balm. However, turmeric has also been shown to have a great many health benefits. So I, for one, have mixed up her honey balm and I am now taking it. And so I'll let you know in the future how it does for me. So anyway, enjoy this conversation with Zoraida Morales. She was a wonderful guest, and I know you. You have highlighted that one of your most important lessons in your journey has been forgiveness. Can you talk to us about that?
Oh, yeah. Now I'm 62, right? Usually, centenarians are the ones that say, okay, I've learned two things. You need to forgive. You need to learn how to forgive, and you need to have an alcoholic beverage every once in a while, even every day, right? I've heard a lot of them say that. Now, I'm not there yet, right? So I do like a dry martini. I do like a dirty martini, but forgiveness. So here I am in the middle of this divorce that my ex-husband did not want and fought me every step of the way. And I'm in New York now. I moved from a house in the suburbs in New Jersey, and I moved to New York City because I worked in New York City. So I figured, all right, I'll be close to work. And I get laid off. And COVID hits. So COVID hits. I just got divorced. I sold my house. I'm in an apartment, and I'm in an apartment with boxes consisting of stuff from a 2,500 square foot house. And my children, who were in their teens, I think one was in high school, the other one was in middle school. They couldn't understand why mom is doing this. Why is mom selling our house? I'm no longer going to have that bedroom, my friends. So they go to Brooklyn to move in with their dad, and I'm all by myself. And it was the first time since I got my diagnosis that I reached out to source. And I say source because when I got my diagnosis, I quit God. Oh my God. God and I had it out. Well, I had it out. I was like, motherfucker, how could you do this to me? You know what I've been through, blah, 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 blah. It's like, that's it, you're done. Now, my children are still going to Catholic school, right? But that was my relationship with God. At that moment, I knew that I had to defer to someone higher than myself because I couldn't do anymore. I had always relied on my mind and my ego to get me what I needed. This wasn't a mind and ego thing. This was a heart thing. So I just went to a corner with all these boxes, and I looked up at the ceiling and I said, God, it's me, Zoraida. It had been 12 years since I had said that. And I just started crying. And I said, I need you to love me. I need you to hold me. I need you to support me. I need you to protect me because I'm doing the right thing. I know in my heart I'm doing the right thing, but everyone's mad at me. No one agrees with me. My friends were like, are you crazy? Why are you doing this? They couldn't even understand it. But I knew, Sarah, you know, a woman knows when it's time.
Yeah.
And so at that moment, now this is a girl who grew up with an agnostic mother who had quit God 12 years ago. He hugged me.
Mm.
He hugged me. I felt, as I'm touching myself, I could still feel it. I could feel the warmth, the thrill in my body because it just comes back every time I think about it. He hugged me and I felt his warmth and I knew I wasn't alone because cancer is a very lonely, lonely uh, diagnosis.
Yes.
And I cried for like another 20 minutes. I just let it out. And then I went, okay, I'm good. Wiped my tears and started unpacking.
Mm.
And ever since that, I've been receiving so many gifts from him. My archangels, I have archangels who watch over me. I had 4 miscarriages before I had my first child. So those babies watch over me. I
Mhm.
have ancestors who watch over me. I'm not alone.
Right. Right.
And ever since then, I've been receiving his messages. And his message was for me to become a coach. Yeah.
Mm. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I at one point found myself on my knees on a bare tile floor, just screaming. I went through
Yeah.
that. No.
Yeah. And this is why my program is called the 3 Pillars of Nutrition. And I call nutrition mental, physical, and spiritual
Okay.
because for me, it doesn't matter who you believe in or what you believe in. But when you believe in something higher than yourself, it gives you feel that protection, that guidance, that love. It helps you develop that devotion to self. And
Mm-hmm.
once you develop that devotion to self, you actually start to develop that devotion to community as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Don't we need that now more than ever?
Yeah, we do. We've got a lot of lonely people walking around, and our
Yeah.
spiritual health is vital. It's vital to have some sort of spiritual journey is absolutely vital, and so many people are trying to live in denial about that.
Yeah.
And I fully agree with you. You have to have something.
Something. It doesn't matter what,
Yeah, we're
doesn't
spiritual.
matter who, but knowing that there's something and someone that loves you unconditionally.
Yes. Because you can't give that until you have it, and you have to receive it from somewhere. And that's why we need it.
Yes.
You can't even give it to yourself until you get it from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was when I started to really learn that devotion to self. And then I was in school at the same time, so that helped me as well. I went to a holistic school. I
Okay.
knew I needed a holistic school because I was already listening to Eckhart Tolle before I got my cancer diagnosis. I was listening to um, the spiritual teachers with Mind Valley before I got my diagnosis. So that prepared me
Mhm.
because I was doing all these workshops, but I did it all in secret. I wouldn't tell anyone. No one knew, but I knew that I wanted to shift. This is before my cancer diagnosis. I wanted to shift, but I couldn't because the people around me didn't want me to shift. You see,
Mm.
people in your own family, they want to continue receiving the gifts you're giving them. They don't want you
Mhm.
to stop.
Right.
So when you start shifting and you prioritize yourself, now they're like, what do you mean I have to wait? I have to wait for you to be in the mood? I have to wait for you to be feeling well? No, I want it now.
Hold on one second. I have a line from the sun coming through my blinds.
I see it. I see it.
There, the sun is coming over the horizon. I put a line and I thought this is too good as we're talking about spiritual.
Divine timing.
But it wasn't, people, it was just the sun coming up over the horizon. That's all
Yeah.
it is. Not to shift you off focus, but it was really distracting to me. I don't know about you.
It wasn't very obvious, but I did see it. Yeah.
I all of a sudden I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is great, this is great. Then I took a glance at myself and I'm like, what in the world? That's too funny. Oh, we're talking about spiritual, and up comes the sun right over the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, my apartment, my window faces east, and there's a mountain range right over there. So the sun comes up a
Mm.
little bit later because of the mountains, the mountains right there. And my blinds, I should have just kept them closed when we started. Okay, so take me back though on your learning about forgiveness journey.
Yes, we're talking about forgiveness. Okay, so I'm doing this I speak to God, he hugs me. Um, okay, there's some stories I'm not gonna tell, but there was a moment where I had to ask myself, what role did I play in my marriage?
Mhm.
Right?
Yep.
24-year marriage
Yep.
collapses, right? For a year after the divorce, well, we had a contentious divorce. It was 2 years of back and forth, back and forth. And so for those 2 years, I was stuck to the story. It's his fault. It's his fault. That MF is his fault. It's not my fault. But here I am after I've had this wonderful exchange with Source. I couldn't help but ask myself, what role did I play in this marriage, in the divorce? And
Yeah.
that took me down a rabbit hole. So here's what I learned. It wasn't all his fault. It wasn't all his fault.
Yeah.
I had to own some of it because I came in with my limiting beliefs. I came in with my childhood trauma. I came in with my generational poverty mindset. Yeah, I came in with a whole bunch of stuff. So, and I came in, yeah, with generational trauma as well. And so it wasn't all his fault. 85% of it is his fault, but I'm going to own the 15%. And when I did that, I had to forgive myself
Yes.
because I was my harshest critic.
Yes.
I was holding on. I've always been that person. I've always been a person of, no, I'm in integrity. I'm going to take accountability for myself. I said, well, this is a good time to do that. And I did. And in order to do that, I had to forgive him and myself as well, and the people who didn't support me. So I went on a forgiveness tour. And if it's okay with you, I love to read something that I wrote on May 26th, 2021. And it
Okay.
was the full moon total lunar eclipse. Because forgiveness is really important.
Yes.
So I wrote, I am at the tail end of my forgiveness tour, forgiving me. Now that I know better, forgiveness for yourself comes first, then the others. But I did it the other way around because I didn't know.
Right.
So I forgave everyone. I forgave him, my family. So I was forgiving me this time. And I wrote, I accept myself and what I participated in. I said what I said. I did what I did. And I understand that at that time, that felt right to me. And at that level of consciousness, I did not know better. Now I understand more of what my truth is and how I show up. I see it differently. I am a different me. I am aware now, and I am bigger in my consciousness and in my heart. I no longer will hold myself hostage. I am healing across generational ancestors. I am not my past. I am enough. I will love me, then I will love me some more. And so it is with serious joy.
You're gonna make me cry. Um, and that's the beauty of writing things down is I can see it on you. You're in that position again right now when you wrote that, aren't you? You put yourself right back there. This is why it's so important to write things down. That's why writing is so, so important. Even
I
if you
encourage people to journal. Just put your thoughts down on paper. It
yeah,
releases so much.
it
I mean,
does.
yes, you may not write read this back on a podcast, but when you look at your own writing and you see where you were, you can see the transformation.
Your
You can
trajectory.
see how you've become who
Uh-huh.
you are now, and it's
uh
so beautiful.
Yes, it is.
And it's like a love letter to myself. It's like
Oh, yeah.
I have to re I have to remind myself that it's okay. We all make mistakes, and I had to own them.
Yeah. And you said it right in that poem you wrote. You said it right in there that really what we first have to forgive ourselves for is to stop blaming ourselves for doing things because we didn't know what we didn't know. Because we didn't know.
Because you don't know.
We don't
I
know.
know.
We didn't know.
And so here I am. I'm 62 years old and I live my life as though I don't know. I surround myself with people who know more than me. That make
Yes.
that makes other people uncomfortable. For me, it's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. It makes
It's
me happy because I'm learning something I didn't know. I'm learning a new perspective. So when I go, oh, I love that. It opens things up. It's like when I'm coaching and my client does the same thing, I love when they do that because it's just me asking questions and now they're understanding it, right? That's
mm-hmm.
why you hire a coach who knows more than you because
Right.
they're asking you questions and you come up with your own answers. And so you know because I removed myself from the people who would not or could not support me during my divorce, it opened up the space for new people to come in. And I was very discerning about who was going to come into my circle.
Yes.
And so there's this beautiful quote that I say it all the time. People are like sick of me saying it. It's by Nipsey Hussle. And it says, if you look at your circle and you're not inspired, you don't have a circle,
Right.
you have a cage. When I heard that, when I read that, I don't know where I was. It was many, many years ago. I was like, oh my God, that's me. I'm in a fucking cage. I was in a cage.
I just had a thought just now, just this moment. And my thought was, so why do we put ourselves in these cages? And it occurred to me. As soon as the question popped in my head, it occurred to me. We put ourselves in these cages, I think, now, because we find lack of knowledge as a fault, as a personal fault, instead of as an opportunity. And if we could switch that mindset of lack of knowledge being an opportunity to, well, then let me go out and learn instead of looking at it as, well, there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
That switch right there opens up whole new worlds.
I'm tingling. As you're saying that, my body's tingling. Because it goes back to you don't know what you don't know. It's beautiful when we shift perspectives.
Yes.
And we unfortunately live in a society that doesn't honor curiosity.
Right. There it is. There it is. We do not honor curiosity. That's the truth. In fact, sometimes we even punish people for it.
Oh, yes. We talk about the child. Oh my God, my child. Oh, always asking questions,
Yeah.
right? Or
Yeah.
even the teacher going, Bobby, why are you always asking questions? Why can't
Yeah.
you just be like everyone else? It makes
When
people uncomfortable. People are worried about, and I was brought up this way. Um, you don't ask for help because it shows vulnerability, and vulnerability is bad.
that's the problem. That's the problem because vulnerability is actually it's a gift to give somebody, but people don't want to accept it. I'm showing you my vulnerable side. I'm giving you this gift of this
Exactly.
opportunity to really mentor me, help me,
Yeah.
whatever. And
Hmm.
instead people reject it.
Yeah. But we do that all the time, Sarah. How many times, and this it happens to me all the time, that I'm always correcting. How many times someone pays us a compliment and we ignore it? We do not acknowledge it. That's your mind and ego going, you don't need that. The heart, you don't need that. Because that's for the heart. When you get a compliment, it's for the heart. Your heart wants to open and receive. Your
Yes.
mind and ego going, that's not important right now. What's important is that we get this done. And then we dishonor the people who are giving us the compliment because
Yeah.
we're not acknowledging the beautiful gift they just gave us.
Yeah, we're rejecting it.
We're
Yeah.
rejecting it.
Yeah. And then
But
they don't want to give you another one.
and you're not going to get another one. So here's what we do mirror work in my practice. I do mirror work. You stand in front of a mirror, you look at your eyes, and you say the words you want others to tell you, you say them to yourself.
Nice.
And you do that once a day. You need to do it twice a day, but you need to pour into yourself so that then you can pour into others during the day.
Yes.
So it's important that people have a morning routine and an evening routine, right? Because you're going to need to replenish because
Yeah.
we all work or we go to school or we take care of others. We do something where we're always giving. Well, at some point, when are you going to give yourself, right? Because I've learned that I cannot give from a empty cup
Mm-hmm.
because I become resentful.
Yep.
I cannot give from a full cup because I'm going to be resentful.
Yeah.
But
We
if I
we
give from that overflowing cup, I've already poured into myself. I'm good. I
now
can
you're
now
good.
I
Now,
can pour into you
yeah.
all day long. And here's let me give you an example. Before cancer, I used to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to exercise. At 5 o'clock, I would get ready. At 6 o'clock, I would wake up my children. By 8 o'clock in the morning, I was already in Manhattan at my desk, and my kids were already where they were supposed to be. I didn't even live in New York at that time. I lived in New Jersey. So I had to, I did this every day for years. After I got my diagnosis, your routine is now different.
Right.
I wanted to continue giving, giving, giving in those first 10 years. I wanted to be myself. Remember, I wanted to go back to my old life. I couldn't do it. Didn't have the stamina. I was I was feeling nauseous. I was throwing up. I was feeling sick. I was in pain. So if I'm giving all day long, am I really going to work out at 8 o'clock at night? That's not happening. So now it's 8 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I just missed an opportunity. I'm too tired now. Well, of course you're too tired. You've been pouring to other people all day long.
Right.
So I pour into myself all morning. I wake up at 5:30 in the morning and I just pour into myself. Just pour, pour, pour. I take care of myself, 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 myself. I don't see a client till about 11:30 in the morning or 12.
You dedicate that time to yourself.
Now, I'm on Zoom because most of my work is on Zoom until 8 o'clock at night sometimes. That allows me, because I poured into myself in the morning, that allows me to give, 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 give during the day. And then
Mhm.
once I shut off, I now it's time for me to pour back into myself again. I need to replenish. So I've already worked out. So, right, I've already eaten as healthy as I can all day. But now I just want to be. I just want to be. And for me, be means I take a salt bath or a bubble bath. I'll play some jazz music. I go back to that 7-year-old kid who loved whatever that kid loved. That's what I want to do. So I'll play some jazz music. I'll hum. I'll sing. Sometimes I'll do a meditation.
Mhm.
Um, I read. I'll do crossword puzzles because that's what I like to do when I was a kid. So I'll just spend now the evening, and once in a while I watch TV. But And if I watch TV, I usually watch a live comedy because I like to laugh. Everything else is too serious for me. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. My life is already serious enough. I don't want to deal with other people's seriousness. But, and then I go to sleep and I do it all over again the next day.
There it is. Feeding of the self in all three areas:
Yeah.
physically,
And
spiritually, mentally.
here's how I started. Every day at 3 o'clock, I put myself on the calendar. I put myself on the calendar.
Nice.
And I'm only allowed to reschedule myself in that 8 hour period. So if I have a 3 o'clock meeting that comes, okay, but I've got to find time in that day to be. So I've been known to take salt baths and bubble baths in between Zoom calls. And I think I've only been late to a Zoom call maybe twice in 10 years. Because I was like, oh my God, I got a call. What the heck? I gotta get out of this bathtub. But because you gotta do what you gotta do
To do what you got to do.
to replenish yourself.
Yeah.
And people laugh. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I was in the bathtub. And they're laughing. What? You weren't on another call? No. And then I'm able to give, 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 give.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing my morning walk after this call. My that I pop in meditative music or a nice
Yes.
podcast and I go for my 3 mile walk.
I love being in nature. And look, I tell people if you can't do 3 miles, that's okay.
Yeah.
Do 5 minutes around the neighborhood
I started
and
with
meet people where they're at.
yeah, I started when I was super sick. I started with just walking down the block and then turning around and walking back home and
Hmm.
greeting the neighbors. That's where I started. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have um a honey that you wanted to share with everybody, a honey recipe.
Yes. Now
What's your honey?
this is not just for people with chronic illness. This is just for anyone, which is why I love this recipe. So I have friends from around the world, and um, I've learned a few things. And so there's this. We made this honey ginger turmeric balm, and I call it a balm because that's exactly what it is. It's like my favorite chocolate when I was a kid, like a Snickers bar, but this is so much more yummy and it's healthy for you. And this recipe eases indigestion and minimizes inflammation in the body. I know we can all use that, right? So we're talking high grade honey, right? We're talking raw and unfiltered. We're talking MCT oil, high grade, or a cold pressed coconut oil.
Oh, okay.
We're talking organic cinnamon, ginger, turmeric, and pepper.
And
And
pepper.
this little concoction is what it looks like. So you have to put it in a mason jar because it's turmeric and it's stained, so plastic will not do. And I have the big one because I meal prep every Sunday, and this will last me two weeks maybe. So this is, I don't know how many ounces, five maybe. So it looks like this paste. And so every morning before you eat, um, and this is part of the way I break my fast because I do intermittent fasting.
Oh, okay.
So this is it's yummy. You just take a spoonful. I already had mine. Um, Sometimes I take two a day because right now my meniscus are torn.
Oh, okay.
So I have inflammation on my knees, so that minimizes it. I don't take painkillers because of the damage that the chemo has done to my digestive system. So this
Mhm.
is what I use. This is what I use. And so this it's funny because I go to the doctor, like I went to the endocrinologist last week and she says, "You're the one with the recipe, right?" She goes, "You gave it to me the last time," because she asked me for it. I said, "Yes." I said, "Did you try it?" She goes, "No, but I need to do it." And you just reminded me, I'm like, try it. And she's a medical doctor. She knows the benefits of this.
Mhm.
It's it's not her part of her practice because she lives in the United States, and that's not how medical doctors help their patients. But I
Right.
like to think that my holistic healing needs to be married and coupled with Western medicine because
Yes.
so recovering from a chronic illness and cancer requires more than treatment and it requires more than surgeries.
Yes.
It requires your heart to be fulfilled, to be taken care of, because that's what's the hardest part about the whole diagnosis. You here, you're not happy.
Right.
And how do you find that happiness within? Because you cannot find it externally. It's not about the ego likes the external things, the ego. So when I said to my mind and my ego that we were going to be a cancer coach, girl, my ego said, hell no, we're not going to be a cancer coach, we're not going to be poor. Are you crazy? I like the title, that the investment banking administrative manager title. I like that we worked for the top five finance companies in investment banking. I like the house we lived in. I like the money we brought in. No, 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 no. And my mind said, "Coach, what's a cancer coach? We never even heard of one. You're not a coach." Now, as the heart, I was like, "But I am a coach." People have been coming to me with their for advice since I was a kid. I was a
Mhm.
manager. I supervised and managed 200 people. I had to coach people to get the job done, right? I was a wife. I was a daughter. I was a mother. I was like, I am a coach.
Mhm.
I just didn't have the certification.
Right.
So I had to tell my mind and my ego, I, I really want to do this. It's my turn. We've been doing things your way for 55 years. And we needed it, right, to get us out of that, to get us out of poverty, to get us through college, to get us, through working in finance as a woman, a brown woman at that. I said, it's my turn. If we don't know how long we have in this world, right? So let's do something radical and let's do things differently. And it
Yes.
took 2 years for my mind and my ego to stop getting in my way. Like I had to constantly bring it back. I'm the leader. I'm the leader. And I would say this in my mind when I'm on a Zoom call because I'm on a Zoom call and my mind and my ego will go, we need to think about this. We have to make a decision. And as the heart, I would say, remember, I told you 7 o'clock. We're on Zoom calls all day. We can't think about this right now. We'll think about it and we'll journal about it at 7. And wouldn't you know it, my mind and my ego kept inflicting all day long. And I would laugh. I would go, really? I'm like, I know you love me. I know you're just trying to protect me, because that's what the ego and the mind does. That's their job. They want to protect you. They love you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
they
do
do.
it in the only way they know how. But at the same time, they don't like taking second place to anyone, let alone the heart, who's
Yeah.
just come out, right? My heart was like, okay, I'm the leader. What? Where have you been? You haven't taken an active stand in your own life, and now you want to be the leader? I was like, yeah, because I've learned these things and I know that it's time. And now, I had to tell my mind and my ego, this is going to be good for all of us. We are going to make money. Don't worry about it. I already spoke to God. This is me. I already spoke to God. He already knew. I told him, I said to God, oh, because this is so funny. I know it's going to sound weird. But when I finally, going back to the story, oh no, I didn't tell you the story
Go
of how
ahead.
I became a cancer, how I said I was going to become a cancer coach. Oh, so I can't tell
Oh,
you this story.
okay, go ahead.
Did I
Tell.
tell you how how I
No,
decided I was going to become a
no, go ahead. Tell it.
Okay. So it's COVID, the beginning, like February. And my sister calls me and she says, hey, will you speak to so and so? Her 27-year-old daughter just got diagnosed with stage 4 metastasis breast cancer. 27. I said, okay. 'Cause that's what I was doing. So, because people kept coming to me, no, they didn't know anyone else with cancer who was taking chemo for so long. So I would talk to people. So we get on a Zoom call. She's telling me the same things that I felt. She didn't like the delivery of the diagnosis. They didn't give her any information that she needed. She feels lost. She doesn't know how to help her daughter. I just let her just let it all out. I empathize with her, give her compassion. I tell her, here are the 7 things I suggest you do. 1, take a deep breath. 2, get a second and a third opinion. Never
Mhm.
hurts.
Yep.
3, get a mental professional or coach. 4, um, take processed foods out of your diet and more whole foods. 5, move your body if you can, right? Because some people, depending on where you are, you just can't move. But if you can do 5 minutes, if you can just walk down the stairs, that's good enough. Whatever you can do, just move that body. Because
Yes.
when you move your body, you move your state. You change your state.
Yes.
What was the other one? Believe in something higher than yourself.
Yes.
And the last one was get your tribe in order. Find out who's going to take you to the doctor, who's going to bring you food, how you're going to eat, who's going to help you clean the house. You need to know all those things. Now, those are things that I learned because I went through all those years, right? When she heard everything I said, she poured love into me, and my heart lit up. It just opened. It was so beautiful. It had not opened up that way in so long. And I said, I'm going to be a cancer coach. I had no idea what that meant. I had never heard of one, never read about one. That wasn't me. That was not me. That was spirit.
Yep.
So now it's a few days later, and I'm sitting in this and I'm going, oh, because you can't unhear what you just heard. And you
Right.
can't unfeel what you felt, right? I felt that warmth from her, from just knowing I was going to be a cancer coach because I'm helping people. Now I'm a natural caregiver. I'm the oldest in a Puerto Rican family, so I was
Yes.
groomed to caregive. So
Yes.
now that I've learned this devotion to self, it made perfect sense because now I had these boundaries with
Right.
myself where I can now pour into others. So a few days later, I'm mulling it over, and I get on Google and I'm like, let me look at some schools. So I started looking at some schools, started looking at holistic schools, found 2 that I liked, called one, and I swear, Spirit did this for me. I got a free scholarship. $11,000 for 2 certifications. Took me 2 years. Yeah. we did that. Oh my God. Yeah. So beautiful. Again, another gift. Because I said to God, to source, I needed help, these gifts kept coming. She was a gift. She came to me needing my help, but she helped me
Yes,
at
she
the
did.
same time. And then I said I was going to be a cancer coach. And that's how I became a cancer coach. Oh, I got a little asterisk to that. It just
Mm,
happened the other day.
okay.
I'm speaking to someone who I met from a podcast. It was a live podcast, so it was interactive. And so I'm finally meeting with one of the participants there. She wanted to meet me, and this was a few days ago. And we're just talking cancer and strategies and all kinds of stuff. At the end, she asked me about my coaching program and prices and all that stuff. A coach's dream. Now, for me, I just wanted to give her clarity, right? She's asking me about being a cancer coach, asking me where did I get my certifications and so forth. Hence, she's going to be a cancer coach. Now, this woman is still taking chemo. And she's not hiring me to be her coach. And that's fine.
Yeah.
Because now she's going to be a cancer coach. She's giving the world a gift.
Yeah, she is.
I think that
You're
was,
mentoring
oh,
her, even though you're not coaching her. You're become a mentor to her. So
so I'm like, hmm. So I spoke to Source and I was like, is that my role? Because now I find myself speaking more and writing more. I'm like, is that my role? Am I supposed to inform people? Hmm. I'm like, interesting, interesting.
evolving. Your
Yeah,
coaching is evolving. That's a
it's evolving.
yeah.
And I'm so happy. So I told her, I am with you every step of the way. You have any questions? I said, matter of fact, I need to call the school because I need them to know this woman is special. I think she's special. I think she's going to be a hell of a cancer coach. And she has an HR background. So we're thinking of collaborating in the future because I have some programs that I want to I want to sell B2B. And she's an HR person, which is perfect. So this woman who lives in another country
Mhm.
and I are going to be doing business together at some point, but she's going to be a cancer coach.